Yo, what's going on, family? In today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that are gonna make you question reality.
Yo, this is great. This is the second time we saw that. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Yo, what plasma? That look like some type of plasma, don't it? What's up with the colors that are coming off of it? That's weird. Looks crazy, don't it? Like, what could be emitting that type of color in the sky? Why they put rings on internet cables? What these chains are for? There are thousands of questions about ocean discoveries, but nobody has answers. Now, for real, like, what are those chains for? Those are some huge chains at the bottom of the ocean. First off, hold on, bottom of what ocean? Yeah, man. I don't know what to believe anymore with AI because I know we have some crazy stuff at the bottom of parts of the ocean, but I don't know if this video is real or not. Ain't that crazy?
See, this is the nut.
What?
And this
That's
is the
how
fruit.
cashews come?
Yes,
That
this is
is
how cashew. This is how
wild.
cashew come.
What?
This is the cashew seed,
Yeah.
and this is the fruit.
You can eat the fruit too?
Yes, try.
What?
Into a fruit.
It's dry but it's sweet. It's good for your throat.
It's not bad.
If you use a,
It's not bad.
You sure?
If you use a singer, the best for you to eat is the fruit of the cashew.
And is the cashew, you can eat the cashew just like that or
The
no?
cashew you need to bake it.
Oh, you gotta bake up?
You have to bake it. Then you take the inside. The inside is the nut.
Did y'all know that cashews and almonds and stuff come from trees and fruit?
Some of the planes that are flying over today are making these big, fluffy lines that expand and turn into thin cloud cover. How about that then?
How about that?
The cult of the Black Cube, better known as the Saturn Death Cult. The global elite worships the dark side of the planet Saturn and uses occult symbols in modern institutions, and it's been going on since creation. Basically started with the fallen angels, and it all revolves around the god Saturn. But this god Saturn is also the god Baal, the god Molech,
Oh gosh.
and is prevalent in basically every ancient and modern satanic.
Saturn is Satan.
They think it translates from Satan, the astrology Capricorn, which is the primary thing, and that is Saturn, which is a goat. The black cube, I'm like, where's the black cube come into this? There's like this dark spot on the top of Saturn that is in the shape of a hexagon. And if you take the hexagon and you make it a three-dimensional, it makes a cube. What was crazy is that if you go to basically any major financial district, they all have a monument of a black cube.
No way.
They believe that worship of it is that they're able to tap into this realm or this deity to be able to enslave the masses.
Oh my god.
Saturnalia. Man. You gotta pay attention too, because they put a lot of this stuff in front of our faces, right? Especially in the entertainment industry. They let you know right away what they're doing. There's songs about Saturn and all type of stuff. The earth is boiling. 4 volcanoes erupt in just 1 week. The frequencies is all messed up on this planet right now. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in any of these places right now. They out here on a bike, running away from a volcano.
And we're going to show you how much chlorine is in tap water. We are going to use chlorinated drops. It's a clear liquid with a yellow cap. And this is chlorine. And we are going to see how much chlorine is in our tap water. Now, in this demonstration, we're going to show you how fast chlorine absorbs into your skin.
Wait a minute. That's a lot of chlorine just in tap water? We drinking swimming pool water.
They say that chlorine is proven to cause cancer. It also affects the endocrine system and also is the leading cause of asthma, eczema, psoriasis. So we want to eliminate chlorine. Now we're mimicking what happens in a shower or bath. Take out our hand, do the same exact test. And we're going to stir that up. Where's the chlorine? It's in my hand.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't even want to go swimming at all no more. Like, not, man. I don't even want to take no showers no more. Be a little musty out here, but still.
The howl of a dire wolf hasn't been heard on planet Earth for more than 10,000 years.
Of a what?
That's because the species is extinct. Or was. Colossal Biosciences is a Dallas-based company that's using genetic engineering to de-extinct long-gone species. And this is the first time Colossal's dire wolf pups, who are now 6 months old, have been seen by the public. So can you tell me a little bit about what went into engineering the dire wolf?
We extracted DNA from 2 fossils that we knew from previous work had some amount of preserved ancient DNA. One was a 13,000-year-old bone, and the other was a 72,000-year-old bone, an inner ear bone. We were able to generate 2 genomes, 2 dire wolf genome sequences from that, which we then compared to all the other wolves for which there's already been data generated. And when we do that, we want to figure out where it is that these 2 dire wolves are similar to each other, but different from the other wolves that are out there. And so we come up with this list of genes where they're distinct. Now, our goal in the dire wolf project, just like with all de-extinction projects, is to re-engineer the core traits, the core characteristics that made these extinct species unique and able to fill whatever role that they filled in their ecosystems when they were still alive.
Using this knowledge, Colossal then made 20 modifications to 14 genes in the DNA of common gray wolf cells.
Yo, they're probably doing this to us. Modifying DNA. Splitting cells, adding and subtracting different genes. Yo. There's a reason why they got the Jurassic Park logo at the bottom of this video, man, because that's exactly what it's bringing up. Bringing back extinct things. Although I don't really believe in dinosaurs. There's a lot of other extinct animals, though.
These relatively few tweaks to the genetic code produce some big differences. The dire wolf's white coat, large size, characteristic vocalizations like that howling you heard at the beginning of the story, and more. That DNA was transferred to denucleated egg cells, meaning cells without their own genetic material, and then developed into embryos and were then implanted in the wombs of surrogate mothers, who were hound mixed dogs.
An American company says it has genetically engineered mice so that they have developed some traits like mammoths.
A small but potentially important step in a quest to eventually bring back the prehistoric woolly mammoth.
They hope to de-extinct the woolly mammoth as early as 2028.
So hold up. Now you're telling me not only do we have plasmoids in the sky and drones searching for the plasmoids, but now we have a vortex under the ocean where another civilization has been living for generations? I feel like every day I wake up to something new and something crazy, but at the same time, something that I believe because I believed it in my core being for my entire life. But these creatures apparently were discovered. An investigation under the water happened, and they found this civilization that's been there for decades. At what point are we going to get photographs and like HD video of all of this? Because I can see it in my mind's eye, but I need to see it and I need physical proof of it. So have you guys heard of this civilization that's now under the water? I feel like I can't keep up with things.
Anyone seen Aquaman?
Nah, what the fuck? Here I go, minding women business again, and I done went down the wrong rabbit hole and seen some shit that scared the hell out of me. Well, I see somebody talking about reborn babies, so I'm like, reborn babies? Let me find out what that is. So I hit the search bar, see babies. I'm like, oh, okay, look at these babies. They beautiful, they pretty. See a couple people with babies. And I'm like, all right, that's regular. Click on one of the videos, the lady is talking about the baby. Oh, I just bought this baby. I'm like, what? A baby? Where the hell you buy a baby from? Not knowing that reborn babies is fake babies. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? Look at this shit. Look at these babies. Look. This a fake baby. This is a fake baby.
Oh, let's see. Oh, she comes with a bottle. Oh my God.
Yo, what's going on?
So crazy. Look at her toes.
And I ain't trying to get at nobody. You do what you want to do with your time. But tell me that shit's not scary. And I understand. Because I went through a couple of videos. You got ladies saying that, I ain't want to have a baby. So I got a reborn baby. All I'm going to say is, this shit is scary. You seen the footage I put in here? You don't believe me? Go look for yourself. I'm out.
Yo, Invisible Man. The Invisible Man?
They said telepathy is just the tip of the iceberg. It goes way deeper. I've been really getting back into the telepathy tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's blowing my absolute mind.
Tell me about it.
There's this one boy, Houston. His story is just insane. Like, grew up severely autistic, non-speaking, non-verbal, and she just grew up thinking that he was basically just almost like a vegetable. She came home one day, her son walked downstairs, looked her straight in the eyes, which she said never made eye contact ever, and said, "I love you."
Verbally.
And
Oh
she's
my
never
goodness.
spoken in his life. Through that was the beginning, figuring out that he could read people's minds. He could see what they were thinking. It starts with him talking about this place. He says that he goes to this place with other kids, other people that have this ability of telepathy. They call it the hill.
Yeah.
And he says, we meet there, we teach each other things, we pray for each other. And it's like this community of kids that have this ability. They go to the hill. It's not like a physical place. It's like not dimensional. It's like a place where their consciousness goes. And they said, but it's like in the shape of a hill. But it's like not dimensional, but...
In your dreams, if you've seen a glass dome, floating roads, crazy architecture, and super tall buildings, you might actually be viewing a classified location. I'm trying to describe this after just reading it because I have no idea really what I just read other than the fact that it's nuts. Apparently there's so many people that are having the same dream that there's NSA, CIA type people that are whistleblowing saying oh yeah, we know that this is going on. And then something in my head's well, why would they care about that? Does this mean that like somehow thousands of people are like tapping into being able to remote view a classified location? Because every single person has described it the exact same way. And everyone's been like, oh, I've been there before. I hope that I tap into that somehow because I'm curious to see what it looks like. But has anybody had the glass dome with floating roads, crazy architecture, and super high buildings dream?
I haven't.
So there's this AI program to where all you have to do is upload 1 minute of someone speaking. The AI learns how to best like make the voice sound exactly like the person, and it's spooky. They're working on it to where you'll upload like 30 minutes of a conversation and you can go into each and every word and mess with the inflection to where it's exactly like someone's voice. But I want to talk about this because I saw this news interview and she said families should come up with a safe word for their kids. Reason was because there's this news interview where this mom said that she got a call and it was her daughter's voice and she was saying, "Help, mom. Please help me. I'm scared." Like, she was terrified. The mom started freaking out, and a man went on the phone, says, "I have your daughter. You send me $50,000 or this is going to happen." And you heard her daughter in the background screaming for help, and she was freaking out.
Yeah.
And like, what
As
do I
a
do?
parent
what do I
would.
do?
Yeah.
What do I do? And then her daughter came out from her bedroom and said, "Mom, what's going on?" And she was like, "What?" And so someone took her daughter's voice and then did the whole AI thing.
Yeah.
It's getting
Scamming people out of money and scaring people. It's absolutely nuts.
And so I did.
How did the people?
AI is next level, yo. Man, especially with the kids too. They don't have no clue. They're just growing up in it, you know. So they probably record stuff on their phone or doing things here and there, and someone, like they said, can steal your voice. Bang. Ain't that crazy though that someone can just steal your voice?
Who created the first clock know what time it was? What if it was 5 o'clock when they created the clock, but they put it as 4 o'clock? Isn't that concerning?
Hey, but didn't they do it with like a sundial? I'm pretty sure the people who created the first clock used astrology. That's just my guess. But 4 o'clock could be 5 o'clock. I mean, in the time that we live in, we set the clocks back, we set them forward. Who knows? What the heck?
Your face, yeah. Yo, these kids, dog. You can't tell me this kid is not 56 on the dot. Look at these kids, man. Look at him. Look at
cloning factories.
I want you to explain it.
I don't know how to explain it. That's the thing.
It's weird.
Yeah, they're new images from James Webb telescopes, but it's showing extremely warped space-time. It's literally physically showing us warped space-time, which you're saying, "Hey, Andy, what is that?" To which I say, "I don't know." This guy's saying like it's crazy not only light gets warped, but time gets warped as well.
What? Looking picture. Let me see it again. Yeah. So there's like this star, and it looks like it's like stretched out in like a tube. People are saying like parts of the picture or of this thing in space. They're like, oh, you could say that this part was taken 3,000 years ago.
Okay.
And this part that you're looking at here is current day, and this part is 100 years ago.
The same picture?
Yes.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know either. It's completely confusing. Yeah, that's what he says. Is like the galaxy was so warped that we get to see it literally 3 different times: 0 days, 320 days later, and 1,000 days later in one picture.
I don't understand because the picture was taken at one time.
What she said, it was taken at one time. Talking about the light, and I think what they try to do is just over confuse us to where we are like, okay, I guess it does make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly don't even believe in that James Webb telescope. You know, nah, man, it's not out there taking these pictures of these far away galaxies the way they tell us that it is, man. That stuff's done in Photoshop. Hey, I said it. It's done in Photoshop. I think the James Webb telescope is more of a do than anything.
There was a shipping container that recently showed up on the shore in Jamaica. I have family in Jamaica. And for everybody else who has family in Jamaica or anyone out there vacationing, I do not recommend anyone eat that meat. Nothing is free. So if you've seen the video go viral recently in the last 24 hours and you know someone, please encourage them, do not eat that meat out of the shipping container. We have had many stories over the last few years related to shipping containers. And for whatever reason, this one not only showed up, but was easy to open. That is a red flag.
It is your wife? She's in San Francisco. But we're separated. I take care of him mostly.
China is saying that they don't care how much higher President Trump goes with his tariff. They're not breaking. They're ready to fight to the end. And as we know tonight, midnight, that 104% tariff that President Trump was talking about is going into effect for China. But again, China is moving like they got the upper hand. They're saying that anything that we make in America, they can make for cheaper. And they plan on making for cheaper. And that goes for your favorite designer items, electronics that you love, anything that we are making, they're saying that they're going to make for cheaper. And you know what that's going to do, right? Now, we all know how advanced China is. My question to you is, do you think that President Trump is making the right decision? Or do you think that he's going exactly too far with these tariffs? The markets are down all over the world, and it looks like the world is going into another recession. And a lot of people are saying these things are happening because of tariffs. What are you saying? Pay attention.
Dang. Talk about lucky. McDonald's Islands? I didn't know we had a McDonald Islands. 10% on McDonald Island.
But don't let them fool you.
A penguin?
AI does not mean artificial intelligence.
Wait a minute, hold on. McDonald Islands have penguins there, right? Is that where we getting our meat? Is that what the chicken nuggets are? Not chicken at all? We getting penguin nuggets?
AI means ancestral intelligence. Because that's what artificial intelligence is. It is the collection of all knowledge and wisdom that has ever existed. And it's put in a machine. Ancestral intelligence is when all information that has ever existed, will exist, and exists now is put in your mind. And all you got to do is call on it. And our ancestors are there for you. Because we got to get back academically to where we were. Our people were geniuses. We taught them what they know.
You think they're wise? I may sound really stupid saying this, but this doesn't make any sense. So this water is constantly flowing downstream, coming from this water source. Where does this water come from? So let's just say there's a lake all the way upstream, somewhere up there. How does the lake continue to supply this water for this river without the lake ever emptying? Because look how fast this water is traveling. Look how much water is going down there every second. Again, I know I may sound stupid, but I challenge one person to tell me the answer without looking it up. I bet you can't.
Y'all watch this and tell me if you remember being a part of this program back in school, because I watched this And
oh my God,
it freaked me out.
To the theory that you were talking to me about, and I was like, oh my God, save it for the podcast. We got a bunch of emails about this.
We're talking about the program, yeah? Are you familiar with the program in schools?
Yes, it was that one?
Yes. It's like there's a bunch of different programs that have different names, but all of it was under the guise of the government is providing extra time to students that they think are more
equipped to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, there was the weird, I remember like the weird tests.
Yes, so they used to test us in the 90s, at least I remember being tested. They would do a bunch of weird tests. Sometimes they would even say that they were doing a hearing test or an eye test, and because I don't want to be sued, I'm scared now.
Just a theory.
Just a theory that when you put on those, and by the way, like, I don't know, can you still see like the hearing test? They take you to a portable that they like set up.
it's like a trailer.
Yeah, so you go into the portable. You sit down at a place, there's cards up so you can't see the person sitting next to you. There's like no windows around. They say sit into this little tiny cubicle that we've made, and there's like a box. It almost looks like a 1980s like plastic briefcase that's like a box.
Yeah.
And they put it down and you put on these like old ass like headphones, and then a voice comes on and it's like a man's voice from the 50s, and it says something like, all right, the voice you're about to hear is just in your right ear. Get ready for a hearing test made just for you.
You should be hearing my voice.
I remember this. I remember all of this.
This is not a hearing test. That is actually the beginning of a hypnosis.
What?
That is very famously used by a lot of people. So
just keep watching. It gets worse.
But when it came to the Cold War, that's like around that same time, this organization started, which was, I think was called the National Defense Education Act was created, which links education to national defense, which is weird. And they started funding programs for gifted children around that time. Like when I was in elementary school, it was the early 90s, and my friend Haley actually was in, which is a different thing, but it's because I didn't take the test seriously. But she doesn't remember much from the program at all. Because when I started, I was like, you were in, right? She goes, yeah. I go, where was it? She goes, you know, I was in like a small room off the library, I think, but like I don't really remember much about it. And that's the thing. Most kids don't remember very much about it.
I was in it.
What?
I think I was in it.
I was in it.
There was the hearing test.
Yeah.
There was a weird like flashcard test.
Yep.
Where it was like you're predicting the card.
Yes.
Predicting the fucking card.
Okay, you might have been in, because this is something that all the kids remember. So they would do
and
a
they
bunch
gave me a nerd rope.
They all, everybody talks about.
And then you had the glasses. There was glasses that they had you put on.
Oh my God, you're like literally, my nipples are so hard right now. Do you also feel like you've had, like, do you have reoccurring dreams where you feel like...
I can't do this right now. Okay, keep going.
Do you want me to leave you alone?
No, keep going.
Okay, do you have, like, reoccurring dreams where you feel like you're, like, to some degree, they're predictive of the future, and then something happens that you...
All the fucking...
I have this too.
I literally...
Can you see my...
Then I've had all these weird moments, and then the next day I meet them, and this is crazy. Keep going.
Okay, so... Did they give you a tiny, like a weird little pink drink?
It tasted like bubble gum.
I thought that was just my blood sugar.
No. So everybody literally, like, can you see my
Yeah, the nurse was like, yeah, we're going to test your blood. And they had the...
pink drink.
Yep, there it is. Oh my gosh.
Until something like this happens and there's an exchange and they're like, no, I remember this. And I remember the weird shapes. And they would show me these cards and they'd want me to know what was on the next card. But I saw the card, so I was like predicting what was on the card, and they would put something in a box and I'd have to know what was in the box, and they'd make me wear 3D glasses, like one.
I have never been more shook with a theory until today.
All of that, they believe, the theory says, is an educational program that's inspired by or directly linked to the MK Ultra program. And the MK Ultra program was when they were fucking around with mind control and psychedelic drugs and like the Men Who Talk to Ghosts shit. And also I would say Stranger Things, because all of this sounds a lot like what happened to 11. Everybody who's in the program, not everybody, but like most people I've spoken to don't remember a thing about it. They have all those things that you remember. They think that was the hearing and seeing tests in school.
And so what was their goal? What did they want to prep these kids for?
They wanted to prep these kids to start learning how to, which you fucking later did in a video.
Yeah, he did.
Astral projection.
Yes, 100%.
Astral projection, and that thing that you did where he guessed Cheesecake Factory.
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing, yes. So all of the kids that they were from, yeah, and it's crazy because I was thinking about that on the way over here.
So stressed.
And so the point was because they were worried about all these things going on, like this was the educational defense system that they were putting together because kids have like a thinner veil and are more open and more suggestible. And the extension of this, where it becomes a little cuckoo nuts, is some.
Where it becomes.
Well, so like honestly, like I'm with the theory to this point because I know that the government does weird stuff and I know that they get like creative about things. Like there's a bunch of private companies that their sole existence is to be creative and come up with weird weapons, like different weapons development things. Like that's their sole function and purpose. So of course someone's gonna think like, oh, let's tap into the next generation. The step further is that they believe that these kids were specifically being taught how to communicate with aliens.
Yo.
And he's obsessed with aliens. I was too as a kid.
When I was really young and I saw 3 gray aliens outside of our bedroom window, I was in the top bunk and it like scarred me for life, and Mom told me they were guardian angels and I freaked the fuck out.
Oh my god, you have shared that on this podcast.
I'm gonna cry.
Wait, because
And I've seen stuff like that too, like all throughout my life.
kids also like that's another one of the
How many
traits.
times have, not to make this
And
about
they
me,
say gray aliens.
but Spencer, how many times have I said I think aliens are gonna contact me? We need to get together. I'm like, that's gonna happen, and we're gonna fucking film that shit.
So crazy.
I'm chills
I'm
all over
gonna
my body.
throw up.
I'm so stressed your cat had to come.
Do I need to leave you like the dress needs to leave us? I don't want to be around the aliens.
But yeah, so that's the thought. The thought is that they were teaching them how to astral project into like conference rooms with aliens.
Are the aliens gonna be nice?
Ask him. It seems like he knows.
Well, I'm just trying to decide if I can
I'm
be
like
around
so
this.
obsessed weirdly into aliens.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Well, and I asked another friend of mine because her husband was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I was abducted as a child. And I was like, I hit her up and I was like, yo, was your husband in the program too? He wasn't.
I wonder, what if that's why you're so into this genre of thing? Conspiracy,
This is too
extraordinary.
much. This is the weirdest day of my life.
No, that's actually making me pretty uncomfortable too.
Somebody in the last podcast left a comment that freaked me out. It was like, does anybody else think Shane has a lot, like, too many weird, like, string theories?
I saw that comment.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then I was like, what is that? So I started Googling. It's like people who have these weird things that happen that are, like, orchestrated and weird.
You have so many. Even like just seeing me in a video on YouTube being like, I'm gonna marry him, or like you'll be like, just a lot of crazy coincidences with random people that come into your life.
This is all really weird. So now what? What happens to me?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anybody go through those hearing tests as a kid? Like the hearing or the vision or anything like that? I don't quite recall. It's been quite some time, but I don't recall doing that as a kid. Maybe that's because I did that as a kid and I don't have memory of it. But yeah, that is quite, man, if you've done that, man, share your experiences in the comments below, man, because I want to know if anyone else has been through any of these programs with the school and had the hearing test done.
I try to think I'm crazy. I really feel like the nigga Mr. Beast is not a real person. He was, hear me out. He was created in a lab. They made this nigga in a laboratory to take over YouTube. That's why they made him. He's botted the fuck out. That's another bot. We don't even see, bro. Have you ever even seen one of those TMZ pictures of Mr. Beast? Like, oh, we found them outside in Beverly Hills on Rodeo.
I mean, don't he stay in the Carolinas? I don't know though. He could be fake. Just like this weight's fake. Yo.
You know, that's like light as a feather.
Right,
but
right.
Can't trust nothing you
there's
see on
like
the
that
internet.
thing in our world to where, you know, you'll notice like an empty coffee cup and someone's just like, man, it looks fake. Or they pick up a big bag of like $10 million and they just carry it like nothing.
Right.
So we want some like actual weight in. So these 80s are like actually like 15s.
Really? Let me see. Oh shit. Oh god damn.
So you get a little bit of struggle. They're real popular with like the TikTok like fitness influencers.
Are you
For
serious?
real?
This is everything's fake.
Nothing's real.
Everything's fake.
Can't trust anything on the
So this is what I have at home, to be honest. Oh.
Yo. You can't trust nothing you see on the internet no more. Nothing. So anybody out here, you know, who's dealing with fitness issues or body issues and they're looking at the influencers online, just know that they ain't doing it the right way.
Speaking of Mark Zuckerberg, did you hear about the house he's building in Hawaii?
No, what?
Freaky. And he's building this very secretive compound, built walls all around this property so no one can see what he's doing.
Okay.
And everyone working on the site has to sign an NDA.
1,400 acres on a ranch in Kauai.
Some of the plans for his compound got leaked. Basically, it's a mansion, but underneath it is a bigger mansion. That the walls are made out of metal and concrete, blast doors.
No.
They have their own underground room or whatever to where they can grow their own food. They have their own water supply. One of the things had an actual nuclear blast door.
He's getting as far away from civilization as you possibly can be.
The idea with being in Hawaii is I guess you want to be surrounded by water.
Or just unreachable, probably.
It's the most isolated.
But also having the benefits of being a U.S. citizen.
But what's creepy is this guy in New Zealand who's a contractor who builds basically underground giant bunkers. He's had over 11 billionaires build bunkers in New Zealand.
What language do children think in before they can speak? A baby doesn't know how to speak English, so what language is he thinking in? Isn't that concerning?
The picture this guy is showing the officer at the Banfield body cam footage is very interesting, but it lasts only for one frame. Here is what it looks like. A person who sits on a windowsill holding up something in his right hand. By inverting the colors, you got a much better picture of this. In addition, this footage looks like it is manipulated afterwards. Maybe the black boxes should hide something we shouldn't see. Now this here is the second floor of the 1122 King Road home, and I said before he sat maybe on a windowsill, but maybe he sit or is there. I highlighted this in red line, so you got the orientation point. And here is the side by side, where I marked the two locations with the red line. And I don't really know how much persons are visible on this picture. Maybe only one, or two, or three, or four.
I don't know. But check this out. You got an airplane that has these cabin doors, or just these doors, right? That have to be like airtight shut. But then you have the ISS, which just got this little flappy, flimsy piece of nothing.
So one of the many Jeffrey Epstein's victims, Virginia Shoefries, got hit by a bus. And now she's saying she only has 4 days to live. And to be honest with you, I don't believe in coincidence. I'm not trying to say anything. But this shit look real crazy. Matter of fact, look at this shit. So in a social media post, Virginia says she only has about 4 days left on this planet. She's basically saying that when she got hit by that bus, it caused kidney failure. And she won't be living too long. And that's kind of strange to me. Because he had 2 other victims that so-called overdosed in hotels. And if history repeats itself, because you know history does repeat itself, usually in Hollywood, allegedly, when people start making noise, they start getting ticked off a list, and sometimes they overdose. What's even crazier is everything just went so quiet. What's going on with Giselle? Even them saying that Epstein isn't alive is kind of crazy to me. Okay, no problem. He lost his life in jail. Where's the Epstein list? When are we going to see who's on that list? What are these people trying to cover up? If they're trying to cover up anything, and I'm not saying that they are. But this right here, this doesn't seem like any type of coincidence. I'm wishing her the best. Hopefully she beats the odds and she's alive more than 4 days. This shit is crazy.
Talking to Lily today about the podcast, and she said, you should talk about how dinosaurs look different. So the TikTok was basically like, but she's like, if you think about it, like our nose, it's like all cartilage, right? What does that mean for like dinosaurs and like all these fossils they're finding? Like an example of like take this skeleton, it was like this little animal. What would it look like if you were to shape it like how they do dinosaurs? And it looked like a little velociraptor. It's like, actually, it's a rabbit. Basically just putting skin on it.
Wow.
There's another incident where that happened. happened. They gave them these remains and they said, this is a dinosaur we found, please assemble it. And they did it. It looked also like a little raptor of some sort, and what it was straight up canine.
But then she continued and she said, have everyone speculate on how scientists would have drawn Andy based on his fossils. She said, have your drawing prepared and make it look like someone from My 600-Pound Life.
She's off the rails. What is her deal? What is her deal?
Huge building with no windows, unlimited access. Anybody know what it is? It's a Men in Black building. I don't know. Wait, what was that? What am I looking at here? This AI. Is it not like
1994, Oakville. Small town in Washington. There's a sheriff sitting in his car. It's a nice quiet night. He's patrolling. He stops and it starts raining. Starts hearing like large drops and he's like, well, it doesn't seem like it's raining that hard. Turns on the windshield wipers and instead of wiping away the water, it almost covers the windshield completely in just this gelatinous bush stuff, and it just makes it impossible to see outside. People wake up that day finding all of these little soft jelly things all over town. And this happened 6 times in 2 weeks. People had no idea what it was. So they called a bunch of scientists and stuff and they collected samples. They took it to the university. They tested it. Guess what it was? Human tissue.
What?
They examined it and it was literally a group of human white cells.
What?
And then, mysteriously, as the things start investigating, the samples go missing. Gone. They're completely just gone. And so now it's this lore. It's like this fake thing that never got resolved. They have no idea. It's a complete mystery.
Yeah. I think Smile 2 reveals what happens to celebrities when they perform. Like, that's the real them, the red demon, possessing the artist, especially on stage. Ooh. It's something in the air making it look like that. That's crazy.
There's no way.
Like he said, it has to be. There's really no way. Switching to low stimulation cartoons has completely changed the temperament of my child. Yo, I agree. Because the new cartoons, too much stimulation. What aren't they telling us? Wait, what kind of phone is that? Oh, see, that's that infrared camera. You can see it flashing when you record it. My bad, y'all. I just gotta turn my phone over. I don't trust it. What is that there in them hills? What's up there? What's in there?
Watch the terrifying moment a driver plunged
Yo.
a staggering 40-foot head-first off an unfinished bridge after following Google Maps on his phone. CCTV footage shows the BMW flying over the bridge, slamming bumper first onto the pavement and nearly flipping into oncoming cars. The shocking crash happened in Indonesia when a 61-year-old man took the wrong turn while following Google Maps and flew through a gap in the concrete barriers. Medics arrived at the scene and both the driver and his passenger miraculously survived the crash. The driver told reporters, "The road suddenly became dark and there were no other cars. Then I realized there was a problem when the car started falling and crashed on the ground. My friend said she's not getting in the car with me again."
I wouldn't either. You or that GPS. Yo, what's up with the chopper? Yo, what happened? How'd that happen? Propellers flew off and everything.
All right, guys, I'm hearing some things about Justin Bieber. Not what I expected, kind of what I expected, feeling like a God thing right now because all the topics we've been covering this year, which have been crazy about Hollywood, Hollywood Babylon, not at all what you are going to expect me to share with you about what's going on in Justin Bieber's life. You've seen the headlines about him and Haley. It's all connected. Hollywood is a really special town.
Definitely is.
Do it.
I don't like Aiden Ross anyway. We got a fleet of UFOs?
Oh my god.
And what's really going on in Vancouver? This is like the fourth video. Yo.
Is mommy looking at the right thing?
Oh my god. Jay, what are we seeing?
What is that?
What y'all think this is?
Is mommy looking at the right thing?
Look how fast it's moving. Do y'all think it's real? Do y'all think it's AI? Anybody in Canada can
Nikon
confirm that?
1005 mile zoom globe buster. How is this possible? Is it flat? Keep watching. There's much more.
That's crazy. You would never know. With the seeing eye, just looking out there, you'd think the earth then curved off until you zoom in.
How far is this?
How far do y'all think it is? Is it 5 miles? Like, was he asking us?
The strongest, the smartest, the fastest, reproduced in greater numbers than the rest.
Hydrates better than water, huh? Have y'all seen oh man, I think it's called Idiocracy. I think that's the name of the movie, Idiocracy. I'm not 100% sure if that's the name of the movie. It's got like Terry Crews in it. It's about this guy who travels to the future. Like, he doesn't travel to the future. He like gets locked in some type of chamber, and then like the future comes to him because he's been locked in there for so long. And he ends up being the smartest man on the world, or in the world. I said on the world. Haha. Smartest man on the world. And they were like questioning why their crops and stuff weren't growing, right? And it's because they was putting Gatorade on everything because they said it hydrates better than water. So all he had to do was tell them, no, put water on your crops. And they made the man a savior. You know what I'm saying? That's the times we living in right now. Idiocracy.
The perfect person. I was like central casting.
Central, hey, you know what? And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
And these are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
Central casting.
Very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this guy.
Oh, this man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting.
He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting.
They're central casting, the red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean,
This is a man that was born for the position.
Though he was central casting like the perfect Supreme Court judge. These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this. Everyone's in perfect shape. My friend, central casting. I always call him central casting. Boy, is that central casting. That's type. So he looked like central casting. He looked like Tom Cruise, but maybe better. The intellect is extraordinary, and the man is extraordinary. He's central casting. I assume you like these people. I assume it's central casting, right, boss? Is this central casting? This is what we want. This is a great, brilliant man. Looks like, I don't know, very tough. Central casting. When you talk about central casting, this guy's out of central casting. I'm telling you, there's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy. Yeah, these guys are central casting, like from a movie. Central casting, you can't cast.
Yeah,
What do you have? You don't have anybody in Hollywood that looks like these guys. And a great-looking central casting, and we have great generals, a great central casting general. Look at them.
Ne kadar güzel insanlar.
Central casting.
Onlarla ilişki kurmak ne kadar.
He's like central casting for ownership of a hotel. Everyone is central casting. Central casting. Glasses, pad, boom. I watch Judge Kavanaugh, who's central casting. This guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor that could do it better. You are so central casting. Great marks, great schools, the best everything, the best of everything.
See, God and the devil.
Central casting, huh? Anybody want to define that in the comment section? It's all a big show. And they casting different people to put in the spotlight. He says, isn't this what y'all want? Central casting? We just want a show, right? Look, when Biden was in office, people was mad because they ain't have nothing to talk about. The man was too boring, right? Now Trump's in office, and both sides are just talking. They are happy. One side's acting like they're mad, but they're happy to have something to talk about again because the show's back on.
People are just you and your different states of mind. It's all you, and the powers that be that control religions have externalized this metaphysical concept to Jesus and Satan to make people look outside of themselves. This is all hermetic and metaphysical knowledge. As above, so below, as within, so without. You know the saying. The heel, hell, or the bottomless pit all correlate with your 3 lower chakras. This is where the devil runs rampant. You're purely in survival mode if you're running on these 3 energy centers, which is why most fast food is red, orange, and yellow. It consists of the lower frequency of your body, keeping you stuck in hell. Therefore, heaven and hell are nothing but states of mind. If you want to free yourself from hell, you need to escape operating in these lower chakra systems by using your heart to get to heaven. And in order to do that, you need to balance your 7 main energy systems, turning the 7 deadly sins into the 7 virtues. Religions are nothing but external allegory of an internal alchemical process going on inside of your body. It's all you, whether you choose to believe it or not. If you want to learn more, this book is a great place to start. I left a link below if you want to check it out.
How y'all like that number 7?
How long do you guys know each other?
Better watch them iPhones.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 3 years probably? Maybe even longer. 4 years? We'll say 4 years. Put out 2 fingers, okay? Coming in. Watch, if I open your fingers like this, I open yours like this. Watch, if I start to push yours together, you see yours start to move also. You feel that, yes? You need to fight it, but you can feel it, yes? Yeah. Okay, good. That's because now I have you guys connected. So look, Tony, put your phone here. Camera, put your phone here.
Y'all sure y'all want to do that?
Face up. Oh, okay. The other hand, hold up one finger. If I take your finger like yours like this, watch.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
What?
Y'all calling each other out? What the?
Unbelievable. Yeah. All right. Watch the fingers. Watch on 3. Ready? Watch. 1, 2, 3. Pull.
Oh!
No way. What is this thing?
I should have the sirens going here right now. Insane lightning, but look
This is the eerie
Hey, no, that wasn't funny, but his face was funny though. He said, "Yo," he said, "I gotta get up out of here."
Terrified Russians shoot at mysterious UFO helicopter darting over Moscow. The ominous drone was blasted by paranoid Russian air defenses as they suffered a separate drone strike early on Thursday. Sinister footage shows a strange rotating object spinning over the Moscow region. It has a red center and is surrounded by a spinning white circular shell. Some suspected the red and white spinning aircraft was one of Ukraine's new RZ-500 helicopter drones. However, the RZ-500 has a maximum range of 186 miles, which is not far enough to reach Moscow. What do you think the strange device is?
Does this really look like progression to you?
Not at all.
Does it suggest that we're the peak of human civilization? Or have we in fact massively regressed and replaced architecture which not only served as works of art, but were comprised of geometric perfection, with large, brutalist boxes that we see today, perhaps purposely designed to demoralize us and stunt our creativity? Because the old world buildings may...
Look at the lights. Just the light poles from back in the day.
have been more than just pleasing on the eye. They could have been serving a practical function and being connected to an entirely different energy grid than what we use today. This could have been ether energy channeled from the Earth's atmosphere, an energy source that Nikola Tesla may have rediscovered before being sabotaged by JP Morgan and other elites of the times, rendering us stuck in this present dystopia.
Down by the riverside, have to be 100 years old. It was stuff, the tree got stuff growing, was growing around stuff.
How many years ago?
Dang.
Where the roots, it's all inside. It's like pottery. It's freaking amazing, for real. And the roots were growing around the tree. These have to be so many years old.
Gotta be.
I mean, look at it. This is freaking amazing. I'm amazed. Not gonna lie.
What's up with all the clay pots, though?
I live coming down here. Look at that. I wonder if any under there. And the roots are still going into the ground, even after the wood are washed away. But it's still going in the ground. It's amazing. Like, really freaking amazing. It's so beautiful. Okay, I got to finish looking.
Solar power, 220 volts. Yo, how? I need me some solar power. Dang. We got free energy out here, everybody. We just gotta harness it.
Remember we were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff?
Yep.
Yes.
Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina.
Okay.
That is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
Wiped out.
This is Maui all over again.
They said the amount of lithium there is like upwards of like $5 trillion plus.
Oh goodness gracious.
Like, I mean, it's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
Yeah.
People won't be able to afford to rebuild, and so they'll be looking for a bailout.
Yep.
So if someone can come in and cover it, like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over, leaving the land behind.
Last episode, I said that this hasn't happened, was 100 years ago? Correction, last time this happened in the North Carolina region, 1,000 years ago.
So now
That's
we
crazy.
know why America really didn't want us to see what they was doing over in China. And if you don't know, click the search bar and see how China just exposed America. That designer that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, all of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs, if that's what y'all want to call them, Canal Street specials, if I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes, their shoes made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China.
Facts.
And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make them for cheaper, and we might as well not buy that designer that we've been buying. It's kind of strange to me because a lot of people been losing their lives to get designer. It's a lot of people that lost their lives over designer. And you're telling me that China's been making it? All I can say is this trade war is exposing the real from the fake and the fake from the real. If that makes sense. I'm out.
Exactly. All you people chasing these brands, messing up your image, doing scandalous things and scheming to get a few dollars just so you can get a bag. That bag you could have got from the liquor store. I'm just saying, man, you could have got the same bag from the liquor store, got the same G's on it, the same LVs on it, the same Fendi, the same, you know what I'm saying? Exact same thing. But you don't. You go buy it from the person who went and bought it from China. That's crazy, man. I think that's with everything though. Like everything's made cheaper in China.
And what would happen if you fucking drop inside this water? That's what happened to your fucking ass if you drop inside this water. Jump inside the water, that thinking shit.
This guy UFO Gerb did a video, 1965 Kecksburg, Pennsylvania UFO crash. They first saw it over the Great Lakes, and they said it was like moving. People thought it was an asteroid at first, but then it was like, then when it went over Pennsylvania, it did like a 90-degree turn. Crashed in the woods. They got accounts from all these different people. They said it was like the size of maybe like an SUV, like, but it looked like an acorn, and around the rim looked like they had hieroglyphics. And one of the guys who gave this detailed account was a volunteer firefighter. They all thought it was a plane crash. So they showed up thinking that, okay, we got to rescue people, put out a fire.
Could you imagine?
They said this acorn UFO was just sticking in the dirt, and they're like, what? And he said within 5 minutes, military was there with guns and said,
Get out of here.
Get out of here. This is a secure location now. And they were forced off the location.
Lucky they survived, dude.
Yeah, he said that
You
both
can't go
his
there?
son and daughter have joined the military, and they're not able to advance further in the program because their name is attached to their father's, where he's on this list now, to where...
Yeah, it flagged him.
Yeah, he's definitely flagged.
It's the list world.
Dude.
Yo, that's crazy. Has anyone seen the videos, the Nazi videos? I don't even know if I want to say that word on here anymore. Has anybody seen the videos in Germany of Hitler and them peoples when they had their little UFO experiments? It kind of looked like a bell or that giant acorn that they're talking about. Joe's Pizza. anything to do with pizza should be a red flag. This is a drone show? Oh no.
All right, y'all, look. It's not just Jamaica they be doing that shipping container shit. See that? See that train? Whole container with a freezer on the back. Let me show you. It's a freezer on the back of that motherfucker. They got it parked right in the neighborhood where people can see it from the street. Listen to it.
And it's going
I
too.
think it's a lock on that motherfucker, man. You see, when shit intended for a certain area, this is what they do. They put it there. Just like this.
No, man. What? This is AI? Go pick up my drink from over there.
Make a small adjustment. No, Mr. Gadget, please. There.
Is this yourself?
Wait, what's going on here?
I think it looks really good.
I'm confused. So, all right. My only explanation as to how that's possible is that there's some type of pole in the middle of that, right? That comes down into the tub or the reservoir. And it brings the water up, which then comes around the pole, giving the illusion that the faucet's on. Y'all think I'm right? I don't know. I ain't never seen one of those before. Oh, no way. Look, imagine if you would have failed. Hey, dude was scared.
There will never be another Michael Jackson, but we have one. Blanket.
Howard, you know Brandon Howard? Yeah. He's coming out as Michael's son. Do you know that story?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it. I honestly believe it. He's a young guy, entertainer. Looks like Mike, sounds like Mike. You would thought it was Mike.
Really?
No, literally. And me knowing Mike's mannerisms, when I see him, I couldn't believe if it was.
Has he had any hits?
Not yet.
Will he? Well, this will make him get some hits.
I'm definitely giving him some hits.
Now watch as I use the capital T to write the word Tuesday. Beginning with the capital T, double curve, curve up, retrace, swing right, vertical loop, over, under. We do not connect this letter to the rest of the word. Then the U, undercurve, slant, undercurve, slant, the letter E, undercurve, loop, slant, the letter S, undercurve, retrace, curve back around and tie. Now under, over for the D, curve back around, close, continue up, slant. Now under, over for the A, curve back around, continue up, close, and slant. Now the Y. Over curve, slant, under curve, now slant to the descender, and over curve for the finish. I would like you to write the word Tuesday. Ready?
Tuesday, yo. How many people out here know how to write cursive or can still write cursive? I miss cursive. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was challenging. I only learned cursive in elementary school. That was it. And I feel like that after that, it's like that era kind of died out. Everything was just script, and then it started turning into typing more than anything. And now it's all typing. Kids don't write at all. At all. Middle school kids, they don't write. You'll never see them grab a pen or a pencil. They're all on their Chromebooks or laptops. Everything's on there. So Yeah, man, I think it's all a plan to have everything be controlled by computers or AI at some point. Because if it wasn't cursive, like, I mean, I'm sure AI would be able to learn what cursive is, but it's probably a task. It would be cool to try to get back to that, though. If I write cursive right now, it's probably gonna look crazy.
I talked about the giants of South America and stuff. The Aztecs talked about, before the Aztecs were there, giants roamed the land. And these giants, they said, were created by a god, but they opposed another god. This god tried to kill all the giants. One of the first times that he tried to kill them was by sending fire from the sky.
Wow.
It killed almost everything, but a few giants survived. And then they say that this god ended up flooding the whole earth to kill these giants. There was one giant, he survived with his siblings. What they did right after that flood was they're like, we're gonna build a giant pyramid so if it ever floods again, we can escape it. And so this pyramid that they built was called the Great Pyramid of Cholula, the largest pyramid on Earth volume-wise. They say it's one of 6 pyramids that were built on top of each other. So, I mean, like, we're talking a massive Tower of Babel like thing.
Yeah.
Tower of Babel happened after the flood, and these giants built this pyramid to escape the flood after the flood.
Mm-hmm.
But then it talks about how the Aztec people came in and they drove the giants further north.
Yo, I've heard that story somewhere else, and the guys that he was talking about were Enlil and Enki, right? In the story that I read, they have different names in different places, but it was Enlil and Enki. And Enki was the god who created these giants, right? And Enlil was the one who really just wanted them to work. And that probably was the god who they opposed. In the story that I read, Enlil got tired of them, so therefore he brought the moon in, which therefore flooded the earth. That's how they flooded it, right? Which makes somewhat sense. Man, it's crazy, right?
Chicken junkie!
What? Y'all kids need a whooping. That's what it is. Going into the movie theaters, throwing all the popcorn and stuff. Imagine being a person that's got to work that night and clean all that up. All for nothing. A kid's movie.
Did you say 16? Oh, 19. I mean, I see that you got touches. You might have touches.
Yo. The fact that he was like, oh, you said 19. Oh, it's cool. I feel like that's even worse. Because, all right, first you're like, oh, 16. But then they're like, oh, wait, 19. Just a few years older. Oh, okay, it's fine now. It's fine.
Okay, so the man been burying kids in the backyard.
What?
Kids? Yeah.
You lying? You lying?
So his roommate got locked up last night, they said, and told everything. So they came to pick him up today. And so
Drake got kids?
They found a few of them.
You lying?
Nah, that's crazy.
So that's basically what they doing, trying to find the bodies.
What?
The reason the FBI came was because when the roommate snitched,
yeah,
he gave them a name of a missing person.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
oh
what
my
they
God.
always, for them to come, it gotta be some type of something.
It gotta be something true.
Yeah,
for them to come.
Missing person,
You
they
can't
gonna
just
come.
say,
Yeah, you
I
can't
heard.
say. Yeah, you gotta.
So did he live in this house?
Yeah.
Do y'all know? Cause I was fucking creep.
She said
He never got caught. That's why
she said she was a
he ain't
kid
got
back in
arrested.
2009. She said about her baby motherfuckers at 2 o'clock.
You lying? Yeah, they said he just had a bonfire
Girl,
or something like 2 weeks
appointment
ago.
right here.
For real?
Yeah. And I've been
They
living
said
on.
he was back there burning shit. But they was like,
what?
They was like 2 o'clock in the morning. He be out here
Burning shit?
digging, because they was like,
Just like some Jeffrey Dahmer.
They got him. No, they already got him. They took him away.
They need to take his ass.
So you were telling me that they were calling in, they're luring, they're summoning UFOs and UAP with a 100% success rate with some kind of machine. Yes, bro, they call the machine the dog whistle. It's a frequency-based technology. It's probably microwaves. They are utilizing the scientific method in a variety of different kinds of sensors, including video, and they're going to submit it for peer review. They're saying that every single time they turn on the dog whistle, something shows up in the sky, and they have data to prove it. Okay, wait. Aren't these the same people that were talking about psionic assets or whatever? Yes, bro. They also have a team of psionic assets that they've been kind of quiet on so far, but play apparently a pivotal role. There are already 7 or 8 different classes of UFO or UAP that they've identified and characterized and taken video of and have data on from radar and other sensors. Wait. My brain is broken. Why is this not viral? Why isn't everybody talking about this? Tariffs.
There was this He ain't lying. Huge distractions out here. That's really what it is. I also think that there's like 11 different species of aliens here too, or different types of life, advanced intelligent life that we just don't recognize, or they can blend in with us, but I think they're here.
That came out, and I want to show you guys this. It's kind of hard to see, but you guys see this map, this graph down here, right? This happened yesterday at 10:10 a.m. Rumors emerged from that the White House was considering a 90-day tariff pause. All right, this rumor started that President Trump was going to pause tariffs for 90 days. Okay, at 10:15 a.m., CNBC reported that Trump is considering a 90-day pause on tariffs for all countries except for China. CNBC reported this without having any factual information. CNBC went on air and reported that Trump was considering a 90-day pause on tariffs. By 10:18 a.m., the S&P 500 had added over $3 trillion in market cap from its low. Over $3 trillion in market cap, meaning people went out and spent a ton of money, right? At 10:25 a.m., reports emerged that the White House was unaware of Trump considering a 90-day pause. At 10:26 a.m., CNBC reports that the 90-day tariff pause headlines were incorrect. Okay, this is all within the span of 11 minutes. At 10:34 a.m., the White House officially called the tariff pause headlines fake news. By 10:40 a.m., 25 minutes from the first original post from CNBC, the S&P 500 erased $2.5 trillion of market cap from its high 22 minutes prior. Okay, never in history have we seen something like this. The tariffs are being used by these corporations to scare the crap out of you, but they're also being used as a way for them to make more record profit. They are scaring people on purpose so that people will sell their stock, so that people will go out and spend even more money on things. And they are making hand over fist profit from us over the scare of tariffs from people who don't understand what these tariffs really are and what they mean and what they're going to do. What a lot of people seem to have forgotten also is that Donald Trump is playing chess. This isn't checkers. He knows exactly what he is doing. Taiwan has agreed to drop all tariffs on the United States, joining India, Israel, Vietnam, and Cambodia, who also intend to zero out their tariffs. And over 50 other countries have called to negotiate with Trump so far. When Trump did his reciprocal tariffs, meaning he decided, okay, well, if you're going to tariff the United States for what we import from y'all, I'm going to tariff y'all as well. But he didn't even do it as 100-100. If, like, Vietnam, I believe, was a 97% tariff against the U.S., and Trump said, we're going to go half of that. So whatever that is, like 40 something, like, because math in my head, it doesn't work out very well sometimes. 43.5. I feel like that.
Can't trust these phones, man. These motherfuckers take pictures of us all day.
Hello, universe. If you are not familiar with the Mandela effect, Empire Strikes Back, you need to Google it, or you're not going to understand what's on this tape. But y'all, I'm about to put this tape in and hit play, and you're going to see absolute, incontrovertible evidence that parallel universes and the Mandela effect is real. Here goes, y'all.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your father.
Well, there it goes.
If you into real life scary shit, then this shit is for you. China is almost finished building one of the biggest bridges in the world. This shit is Final Destination scary. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look how tall that shit is. That shit is hovering above some mountains.
Oh, I'm good.
Mind you, this shit is 2,050 feet. You know what that means? 2 Eiffel Towers. The height of 2 Eiffel Towers. And they're saying the bridge is going to be a mile long. Do you know what they had to do to build that? Picture a skyscraper-sized tower on the side of a cliff. And not to be on no scary shit, but what if an accident happened up there? Where y'all think y'all falling to?
Right.
To the depths of hell. You gone. And just imagine the people that built this shit in the air for all that time. This shit is crazy. I honestly and truly don't want to see nothing like that in America. Don't bring it here. We don't need it here. Don't follow China on this one. Because if this shit don't scare you, nothing will. That's some scary shit. I'm out.
You guys hear about the woolly mouse that came out yesterday?
I had that in my notes.
It's wild.
What's a woolly mouse?
Dude.
It's the company that is trying to bring back the woolly mammoth.
Cool.
And so they started the process with putting the genes of an ancient extinct animal into other animals. They took basically the attributes of a woolly mammoth and put it into a mouse.
The DNA makeup.
Yeah, and so it's now called the woolly mouse.
Kind of cute.
So long hair, very coarse, thick hair, can survive in the cold longer than a regular mouse. They said that this is the first step to basically bring back the woolly mammoth. And they said that they should have a woolly mammoth by 2028.
I thought we were supposed to have that this year.
Got to push it back.
I know, but this is like...
I just was reading in Leviticus, maybe I'm gleaning the wrong thing, but it says don't combine animals with other animals.
There you go.
I mean, that's what they theorized that the Watchers did.
We're doing that
The
stuff right now.
bastardization of creation.
So this is like...
There's a listener going out to the yard with their gold doodle.
Gold doodle,
right
yeah.
Dang it.
Yo, y'all think woolly mammoths are already here or that they're bringing them back? What y'all think? That's got to be a door, right? I don't know what y'all think it is, a door or just a coincidence?
What are you talking about?
Well, when was the last time you people took a trip?
Well, we take trips. We go up to Raleigh every now and then. And we drove up to Asheville that time, remember?
When your cousin became a Mason.
Trip, Paul, can we? Can we be?
Well, it's entirely up to your father, dear.
Well, I suppose we could take a little of the money and take a little trip. Want to go over to Parkinson's Falls? It's nice this time of year, and Opie hadn't been there since he was a baby. Well, you want to drive up to Asheville again? See Cousin Evan Moore? He's a Grand Master now.
Yo, they letting us know. They throwing it right in our face. He's a Grand Master now. Oh, this that guy that got the diesel engine running off of plastic waste.
Here, I have Plastadiesel. Yeah. A diesel alternative I made from plastic waste. And what we have beside me here, we have two Ford 1997 F-250 Power Stroke 7.3s. And we're going to put my Plastadiesel diesel alternative made from plastic waste inside of the first ever F-250 to run off of plastic waste in Chicago, baby. Yeah. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison to see how real diesel does versus my diesel inside of this truck. So Tony, let's go ahead and get this diesel in here. shot myself.
I got it. Tell us what he's doing.
All right. All right. Plastodiesel is inside of the pail, and we're gonna hook up the fuel hose to it.
He ran the diesel or the truck out of diesel.
Yes,
correct?
it's out of diesel. It's gonna take a minute to start.
All right, everybody, make our way back to the front. If you want to support my mission to take sunlight and turn sunlight into fuel made from plastic waste, you can go to my GoFundMe here. We're looking to raise $16,000 to get all the solar equipment I need. All right, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I gotta ask. Do you guys think it's gonna run?
Yeah.
We know it's gonna run. All right, Cody, hit it.
You gotta give him the system first.
Yeah. Give it a minute.
You gotta give him the engine.
It's going.
History right here, the first ever Ford F-250 to run off of plastic waste right here in Chicago, Illinois, baby. Right here. We're gonna see the comparison on how the engines sound, how they rev. This
Doesn't sound strong to me. Bro.
So we got a plastic diesel fuel now, y'all. He's in Chicago. Y'all got to protect that young guy because, hey, we know what's coming next.
I'm getting ready to take my children to karate class, and I look up in the sky and I see this. Focus your attention on the center of the screen.
Okay, I see something. Yep.
Yeah. Y'all saw that? Don't worry, it's coming back. What caught my attention was that it looked like it was something sparkling in the sky.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
What is that?
Yes, I had no clue, y'all. I have no clue. I've not seen that before. And I've seen a lot of things. And there's a little tic-tac thing that people, that's what they call it on social media. See, there it is again. I don't know, they're in the same vicinity. Like they kind of met up in the sky, did like a little drive-by. Y'all, I don't know what's going on right now. But I'm just glad that I caught this on camera, because look at that. It has some kind of consciousness, y'all, because it's going to the right of the screen. It's kind of going behind the clouds over there. Now, the only reason why, don't holler at me, y'all. The only reason why it's out of kind of frame a little bit is because I honestly didn't even know you could even see this. The phone was directly in front of my face, and it was so bright outside. So I'm even happy that we can even see this, to be honest. So I did my best, y'all. I did my best. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
Yo, what is that?
It almost looks like a bunch of them together. And see, now it's changing directions. It's like once it realized that I was focusing my attention on it, it started just kind of spazzing out. Like, it's like, I don't know where to go. She's watching us, you know? Because it's going to the left and it's going to the right and then it's going to the left. It's like, I don't know what they want to do. Look at that. Now it's going back to the right. And I'm just here for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. Because I'm like, yeah, I got you. But yeah, there it is. It's going back to the left, y'all. But yeah, to the lady that I made a comment in her video, because she was talking about a type of UAP that looked like a flock. Is this what you're talking about, ma'am? Huh?
Maybe.
See, there it is. It's booking it. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think that is.
I don't know. Why is it that our blood pressure is high at the doctor's office, but not at home? Good question. Why is that? Somebody trying to say this is not a plane. Like it's just like a hologram.
Oh!
Yeah, what
That
happened?
shit crashed, huh?
Something crashed.
What?
Out here in Poland, huh?
One, two, three, taking up space!
And then ultimately up and down. After that, we kind of start.
Yo.
Believe what you see does.
What's wrong with her? Nah. Something up with that. Nah, she just got in. She had what, do like 10 steps?
Free energy. This guy, his name's Maxwell Chikumbutsu. This guy's from Zimbabwe. He created a generator, does not use any power source. So this generator creates free energy using frequencies from the atmosphere. This one generator can like power like 300 homes.
Y'all hear that? Atmospheric energy. We've been preaching that for quite some time. Tartaria, old world energy. Right in our face. They got it. The technology's here. We just got to learn how to harness it.
These two scientist guys went out there to test it and stuff, and they're like, yeah, it's legit. And they're like, how did you know how to build this? And he says when he sleeps, he gets revelations from God of how to create these things. But this dude has a target on his back.
Yeah, for real.
So he's been in prison in Zimbabwe multiple times.
You're too smart.
He came to the U.S. at one point, and he was poisoned and almost died, and he cannot get any of his patents patented because the patent, like in the description, says that if it defies physics, it cannot be patented.
Imagine if everything goes black in the world, and that's the only type of energy source that we can like holster.
Yeah, that's also a thing that like AI couldn't affect.
For me, I can't put it into words, but like I looked out the window and we got to see the moon. It was pink. Was it pink? Full moon. It wasn't pink, but it was almost full. And Earth looked so. It was so quiet. It was just quiet. And is it what you expected?
Oh my gosh.
No.
No, because I didn't see it.
Right.
I didn't see it though.
You know what I'm saying? It was like
it was quiet.
Also really alive.
Oh my word.
You look at it and you're like, we're all in this.
You didn't see it.
Like that's all I could think about.
No, you didn't.
We're so connected.
You're not.
More connected than you realize because
lies.
Exactly, man. She was struggling to find the answer. She was like,
Let's go into the firmament exhibit in Iceland. It's actually not called that. It's called Perlin, which means mother of pearl, but it's a giant dome on pillars that showcases the aurora borealis. All right, so we're at the top floor in Perlin. Check that out. Definitely symbolism for Polaris, God's eye. My blue moon survey. That's not suspicious. Glass domes with black rocks or mountains in the center. Hexagonal dishes. So these look flat. There's literally no reason for these to be domes. They're telling us.
Goodness, no.
Animals will lose their habitats. It's always about polar bears. Polaris is a part of the bear constellation. Glaciers exist in polar regions and in the highest mountains of every continent except Australia. Glaciers have created some of the most striking landscapes on Earth by scouring the land and transporting sediment miles from their original source. Glaciers have left behind jagged cliff faces and sharp mountains. Black rock. glaciers and ice is a work of God, and rock is like Satan. And when they say that the glaciers are melting, it's because most of these glaciers are on top of volcanoes. So volcanoes are basically the natural version of pyramids. That's why a lot of them are like perfect pyramid shapes. They usually have ice caps, I think, by God, to prevent them from coming up. An interactive game. It says, stand inside the circle and point to the wall with a straight arm. The exhibit itself is like an ice wall around the outside, and then this on the inside. Can we also talk about the fact how the center of the dome is literally a tower? Mosaic fractal pieces on the wall. And of course, this allows you to stand on the circle of the earth and make yourself God. So they have an ice cave that they made, and in the ice cave, there's holes in the walls with rocks in them. Just like Attack on Titan, where the Nephilim or Titans are suspended rocks in the wall. They're telling us this is like what stars are. They're suspended rocks or Nephilim. Okay, and at the end we have an ice throne with what looks like a polar bear seat. Like you literally, I can't unsee this stuff. And right before you go into the planetarium, there's fractal glass all over the walls. Here's part of the Aurora show, which of course had to be done under a dome, but I just wanted to show you the firmament markers that are still present when they show the Northern Lights. Straight off their website, the temple sides were to be covered with mirror slabs so that the Northern Lights could approach the feet of men. The roof was to be decorated with crystals in every color. A floodlight was to be at the top of the ridge that illuminated all the tanks. The house itself was supposed to correspond to the light of day and the symbols of the night. So again, here's what they call their temple, which looks a lot like this other temple. And here's their symbol. I'm 99% sure that I've recreated this symbol using my 144 tooth wheel on the 9 setting, but we'll double check when I get home. It's so crazy to me that this stuff has always been there and we never notice it because we're not looking for it.
Yo, the symbolism in that whole planetarium is crazy, right? We live in a terranium. That's what it is. That's what Terra is, the terranium. And they just be putting it on display for us. We just got to think.
There's a part of Schaumburg, Illinois.
Schaumburg, whoa.
And they redid this one part of all the streetlights. And they're completely purple.
Yo, I'll be seeing them.
To see how the light affects people?
Well, I was with somebody with the poke. And I'm not kidding you.
It glowed?
It glowed. Now they're going to lie and say it's not true, but it was a fresh poke. There's also something called luciferase.
Oh, interesting name,
Luciferase. These lights show up in different cities, and it's weird. I'm just saying.
Yo, I be seeing them joints on the highway all the time, not going to lie. Something about them, I think there's like a certain frequency coming off these purple lights. Like, for one, why do you have purple lights? Why would you change it to purple?
There's this thing, it's called the friendship case. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's very hard to believe. Basically happened in 1956. There was these Italian men apparently found this map of this castle that was close to them. They got there and these two, they said they looked like humans, but they weren't. One of them was 10 feet tall and the other one was 3 feet tall.
Stooges.
They were aliens. They went by W56, but apparently these alien people, they have these underground bases. They said they've been here for centuries. They even have bases in the ocean, and their whole purpose of being on Earth is to save humanity from themselves, especially regarding nuclear bombs. But apparently there's 100 witnesses to these people, and there's photo evidence and video evidence of them showing them their flying saucers. But they said the only way that their technology works is if there is friendship and love. If we're not experiencing love within humanity or friendship or compassion, they said our technology doesn't work.
That's really cute.
There's footage of a cat turning into a human on camera.
What the fuck?
Camera.
That might be the greatest shit you've ever saw.
Yo, it's fucked.
Let me
Check
see,
this out.
bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, we gotta see this.
No, that's probably like the best line that you could have pulled out your ass.
Look.
Let me see this bullshit, man.
It's real, fam.
Nah.
Look, 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 look.
A cat morphing, so it's like Pokemon.
It's real. It's fucked. So we talk about skinwalkers all the time.
Oh, okay,
Dog,
okay.
if this isn't a skinwalker, I don't know what to tell you. Just look.
Okay, let me see this. No way.
You see the cat? You see the cat? And it jumps in the air. So I'm showing the first part. Cat jumps into the air, right? What the fuck? How the fuck, right?
Okay.
Then watch the second part of the video.
Yeah, I barely got to see that. Hold on.
Jumps in the air.
Oh, fuck.
Look. What the fuck is that?
No, that's no, that's weird.
Yo.
Wait, play it again.
Look, look.
Ew,
No, because you see how like the arm first and then one leg.
And, like it grew.
Yeah.
Fam,
That's crazy.
It was mid-run and it grew another one and it was like
Yo, that's crazy, fam.
No, where'd you find that from?
This is going viral right
Is
now.
it TikTok?
Look.
Is it?
No.
Oh, that fam. He turned into Slender Man.
Yo, they could at least showed us the video.
Hello? Hello? 1, 2.
Aw, snap.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. You can.
What in the carbon footprint is going on here? Yesterday, that's April 14th, 2025, 6 well-known women went to space. For 10 minutes. Or did they? Here's some things that don't add up. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't have. It's a short journey to the Kármán line, also known as the edge of space, which is roughly 100 kilometers up. However, in order to arrive there, this is what would happen. Liftoff. The rocket launches with an explosion of force. You're pinned to your seat. Everything shakes. It's loud. You can't move. Then, G-forces build. As the rocket climbs, the pressure on your body increases. It feels like a heavy weight pushing you down. You can't lift your arms. Breathing gets harder. Then, max Q. About 1 minute in, the rocket hits the thickest part of the atmosphere. The pressure is at its highest. The whole rocket shakes. The rocket then speeds up fast, over 2,000 miles per hour. You're heading for 100 kilometers up, the Kármán line where space begins. Your face pulls back. Your eyelids and lips feel heavy. Your body is under extreme pressure for minutes. When the engine stops, you float. You're weightless. Your hair floats. Jewelry moves around. They shouldn't have smooth hair, flawless makeup, or dangling earrings that stayed put. You'd expect red faces, sweat, puffiness, and floating items. Not a magazine photo shoot.
You know?
There's something about this view that screams fake too. Jewelry is forbidden on real space flights. If something comes away from the body, it can find its way into complex machinery and cause havoc and malfunctions. Yet these women are allowed. And hair extensions too. And I know celebs are egotistical, but you really not going to look out of a window at space and film yourself? Also, if Katy Perry is holding this daisy, then her upcoming tour set list, plug. How is she holding the daisy again when back? Where did she put it? No pockets in these X-Men suits. And there's this door. I mean, come on. My caravan door is more secure. And as for the nonsense they all spoke when arriving back. And the other women only talk about Katy Perry. My verdict, real rocket footage, no celebrities on board. A fake event to boost Katy Perry's new tour, nothing more.
Nothing more.
Tecnologia!
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the count of, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Yo, I'm gonna have to start looking into that because we did have a tornado in my city like not too long ago, and we never have them. And they did recently install a big old roundabout.
Kingdom.
Need some of them, man. It just screams fake.
Do you remember when that video went viral of the microwave plate and people realizing that the indentation on this plate that sits in the gear that turns the plate in the microwave is the same shape as the radiation symbol?
Yo, I see it.
Well, the crazy thing is, a lot of people are saying, it's no big deal, man, it's just because the gear in there. But it is interesting that it could be any other shape than the radiation symbol. But you know what's crazy about microwaves is that it's about the only appliance that you have never seen a commercial for. Yet it's in all of our homes. Unless you're like me and you got rid of your microwave. But there is something so crazy about microwaves, so much more than it's a frequency that excites the molecules and makes it warm up. But you cannot speak about it on Instagram. In fact, if you ask Google, are microwaves safe? You'll have to go to page 100 before you see any variance of an opinion on the matter. They are all absolutely 100% use it. It's great. It's an amazing invention. Never mind what Russia did in the 1960s regarding microwaves.
What did Russia do in the 60s? Yo, microwaves are very bad for you. I mean, it's literally what it's called, a microwave. To radiate your food, you know what I'm saying? And then we eat that we eat it when it's hot, it's super radiated.
What's going to come out of
Earthquake San Diego.
Oh, snap.
Ooh, dog. We're okay. San Diego must have been like a 5-point something. Whoa, my God, that was huge, Buster.
They said the sky was shaking.
This is a post from a Chinese national saying, you guys are all blaming China, you're blaming us, but it's really your own fault, and America now needs a revolution.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs won't ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare cost, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave probably made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed you lies while they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
Now he has a point.
Mexico right now. What is this?
Why would they be like, why didn't they just put them back in the water?
That's like a whale or something.
No, it's yeah, it's blood already. You see that thing? That thing?
There?
San Antonio, Texas.
What is that?
Oh my god, is it a...
That's my cat.
It's scary. Oh my god, it's moving. It's moving. Are we? It's moving. It's moving. It's going to go to us. He see us.
He left.
Yo, that's crazy.
What?
First off, the GATE program, it's pretty much this. It's this group of kids that get sent because they're special, like they're like not special ed, but like intelligence.
Oh.
Yeah, special intelligence, and they teach them things, right? Now the conspiracy is the kids that were sent here were being tested for like psychic abilities.
What? No way.
Hold on, bro. So there's this video. There's this video.
If there's like a wall on
showing. No. Oh, it's even crazier than that. What? Yo, it's even crazier than that. Hold on. Well, first off, there's this video I came across. They're talking about if you remember this stuff, you were probably part of the GATE program.
Yeah. Y'all are trying to tell me that Blue Origin rocket launch wasn't CGI? That wasn't from a 2002 movie? The era of the world that we live in is crazy because you have to believe everything is either AI, CGI, or not real, and you have to double check. Gayle King, Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Aisha Bowe, Amanda Nguyen, and Carrie Ann Flynn make history becoming the first all-female crew for Blue Origin to go into space. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am someone who believes in science, and I'm someone who believes that things are supposed to be the way they are. I'm also someone who has grown up seeing a lot of rockets take off from Cape Canaveral and other launches into space. And something about this one just seems a bit off. I don't work for NASA. I'm not an engineer. I don't go into space. I don't work on rockets. But I do know that when the rocket takes off, it takes off, and then the little thing falls off, and then it goes back down to Earth. None of that happened here. The flame doesn't look real. But here's the kicker. They come right back down. And then this video of Gayle kissing the ground and them saying, thank you, we made it into space. What's happening? What are they distracting us from? Starting to make me believe we never went to the moon, because what was the point of this? What were they proving? Because whatever they were trying to prove, it had the opposite effect. Because they went to space in this rocket. This literally looks like a scene from Independence Day. And if you're old enough to remember Independence Day, you remember how bad the CGI was for Independence Day. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, man, it looks completely fake, man. I'm just saying.
In December of 2018, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office issued a number of seemingly out-of-this-world patents to the Navy for a hybrid aerospace undersea craft. capable of extreme speeds in both water, the air, and in outer space. A true transmedium military platform. Technologies such as, quote, a high-temperature superconductor, a high-frequency gravitational electromagnetic wave generator, a force field like electromagnetic field generator, a plasma compression fusion device. This aerospace vehicle utilizing the mentioned components would be able to achieve truly extraordinary feats of speed and maneuverability in all three mediums of air, water, and space. This sounds eerily similar to some of the established 5 observables of UFOs encountered by Navy pilots in recent years.
Free energy. Take notes. Magnetic energy. That's crazy.
The gate program.
Hold on. I'm about to have a $0 electric bill next month. I'm just saying. I'm gonna hook my whole crib up to magnets.
The more sinister theory about what happened with the gate program. Now, if you've seen my other videos, we've seen that the gate program was a way to bring in star seeds or highly spiritual or highly conscious people into a program where they could essentially be groomed and brought in through a gateway into becoming leaders in society. But there was also a second batch of people within the program that were apparently rejected because they became very unsuccessful at life. In fact, they may have even had opportunities taken from them in life as to not make them successful. Now, the sinister theory surrounding this second group of people is there may have been 2 groups of people within this second group. The first group within the second group would have been people that maybe they weren't that psychic, maybe they really didn't have any special abilities, so no more resources were put towards those individuals. Now, the second group within this second batch would be people that were perceived as some sort of threat. Maybe they were not obedient, maybe they didn't take orders well, maybe they didn't get along to go along. And so the sinister theory is that maybe the gate program was a way to defang these people, so to speak. So there's different theories out there. Maybe they were, for example, given hypnosis or some sort of sound signals or some sort of, like people talk about that pink substance, some way to calcify the pineal gland. In other words, they were basically grooming these people to become unsuccessful so that they could never become a threat to the system, to the matrix, if we want to call this system a matrix. Now, let me know what you all think.
I'm not joking, eh?
Okay.
Take the $20,
Okay.
take all your kids,
I won't
take all
come
your
back.
friends, and don't come back here.
I won't come back.
You see that guy? Did he try to bring you in that basement in that church?
Yeah.
Don't ever follow that guy again.
Okay, I won't.
He was gonna kill you guys down there, eh?
Alright.
Wait, what? How she know all that?
Either China knows something we don't know, or they just don't care. America already said that 125% tariff ain't 125%. It's 145%. And what does China say? China said they're about to release a $1.9 trillion tsunami. And whatever that's coded for, because I don't know what's a $1.9 trillion tsunami. But the shit sound bad. We already know yesterday was crazy. J.D. Vance said that Chinese people were peasants. I guess he didn't mean it like that, but I guess China took real disrespect in it. You have President Trump pause all tariffs for all countries for 90 days and said, China, we ain't giving y'all that grace. And China still want drama. What does China know that we don't know? Matter of fact, I need y'all to jump in the comments and tell me what you think China know that we don't know. They said they not breaking. They're willing to fight to the end. And like I said, I don't know what the end is, but they on that ball, but they on their BS. And of course we know, if you order from Shein, you order from Temu, you order from DHgate, those are gonna come with tariffs. You order a $20 product, they're saying that they could slap $50 tariffs on that product because of these tariff wars. So, who's really being hurt? I seen another person say, we must not know about China because in China, they really don't need anything from the US. So the tariffs ain't gonna hurt China. I mean, again, what y'all think? Because it's about to get real sticky. Let me know in the comments, man. Bye-bye.
It's getting sticky. So, hopefully we don't have a whole China USA type thing going on right now, but seems like we kind of do. And hopefully it doesn't go any further than just, you know what I'm saying? But what do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. These are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on. And until next time, YouTube, peace.